I've logged back into my Bill Solaris server, still as user Bill. I'm now going to do some looking around here. As a generic user, even though I have root access, a generic user can still do certain things inside a command line. Can't do any adding or make any modifications, but they can do some viewing of information. Now, this is something they've got to be very careful with because anybody who gets into your system can perform these commands to see who's in there here. So it's a security issue. It's really important that you do not allow people or people who you do not want into the system to be able to get into the system. There's three basic easy ways to find out about what users are in the system. The first one is the getEnt password. G-E-T-E-N-T. Oops, I'm not inside the system here. Let's get into here again. Let's try that again. G-E-T-E-N-T space P-A-S-S-W-T. If you type this in, you press enter here, what you do is you get to see a whole list of information about the users that are in there. Well, not only the users, but the groups and so forth. Well, we'll get into groups a little bit more later on. But here, there's the root user, there's the daemon user here, and all these other users that are into there, the nobody user, the unknown user, etc., etc., etc. And sure as shooting, down at the very bottom here is Bill. Okay, and there's a whole bunch of information about Bill here, basically his number, the group number, the default group number here, and you'll notice here /export/home/Bill. This is where Bill's home directory is in. Okay, so I'm still as my generic user. I typed in getEnt password. Now that's one easy way to see what is on the system. Let me clear the screen by typing in CLEAR. There is another command that you can use, and it's called display user ID. DISPUID, display user ID. If I press enter, what it does, it gives me the exact same list, but it doesn't give me all the information that pertains to all these users. For example, here, there's root, and there's Bill, and there's nobody, and etc., 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 with all the users without the information here. So that's a second way to do that. So we got getEnt space PASWD, and now you've got display user ID, DISPUID at the command line here. Let me clear this again. There is another command line. Most people find this really confusing and they don't remember how to do this. AWK space dash capital F single colon single quotation closing, okay, opening brace, print, which basically is going to print to the screen, $1, close brace, close single quotation. Oops, did I lose? I must have gotten out of here. Print, close brace, single quotation, and /etc/PASSWD. Now, before I hit enter, let me just explain a couple of things here. The passwd folder, or file I should say, this is the file that lists all the users and all the information. You'll notice earlier when I just did the getEnt password, GETENT PASSWD, this is the file that it's calling. You'll notice that the file password lives or is located in the root system in the /etc folder here. Okay, if I press enter, watch what happens. Right, and if I didn't type everything, if I typed in a mistake here, right, it's giving me, it's taking some sort of error message, or it's staying at the concept here. All right, if I type in Q, I have this. If I type in exit to get out of here, so I'm stuck inside this whole concept of what it was here. And basically what happened is I made a mistake inside of here. Right? So this is why this is a line that a lot of people don't use or don't do a lot of here. If I type in AWK, oops, I hate that. 8WK, because we all make mistakes. Dash capital F. All right. And then I put in single quotation. Right? I put in the colon. I put in another single quotation, and what I failed to do, if you notice right up here at the very beginning, you see there was a start of a quotation, there's an end of quotation, and then I put an end of a quotation. And that's where I made the mistake. I should have had another beginning quotation. So I'm going to put another beginning quotation here. All right. Open brace, print, $1, which is basically a variable that's saying when it finds all the information, it's going to print it. Okay. Now I close the brace. Now I close, and again, there was the start and end. Now it's the start and the end here. And now I'm going to go ATC slash PASSWD. Now I'm going to press enter. What happens? Oh, it didn't like that either here. So it tells me that, okay, wait a minute, I'm putting in a command. I'm inside these here, these greater than or chevrons or whatever you want to call them here. So here's the question is, how do I exit out of this stuff here? If I press Control C, by the way, I get out of it. So in other words, I'm stuck in here, even though I'm inside this section here, and I try to type in the proper command, it won't really function because it's inside this command loop type of a thing. It's almost like a scripting loop or a programming loop here. So let me try this for you again. AWK dash capital F, open, semicolon, close, open, brace, print, $1, close brace, close open, or close quotation, slash ETC, slash PASSW, WD. Now, let's see what happens now. Now it works. I'm not inside that programming loop here. Control C got me out of it here. There's all the information. Here's all the information of all the users. What's really interesting is that display UID, DISP UID gives you the exact same information as this. So you have three choices. You could use getInt space pass WD. You could use the AWK long line, or you can use the DISP UID to find out what the users are.